Hello and happy Monday. I hope you guys had a great weekend. It was gorgeous and it's gorgeous again out there again today. And so sunshine makes me happy. So today, besides being Monday, is a really good day. So I'm on the home stretch of my set of 10 cards that I put together live here for my virtual September stamp camp. So number 9, that's when I start to go back and reflect and look at what I've already done and see to make sure that I haven't overused a certain color over and over, or if they're a lot of fall, then I try and grab something with a little bit more color. And so today I'm bringing you something a little bit more whimsical because some of the cards have been a little bit more serious. So I hope you enjoyed that. Hi Donna, hi Linda, thanks for joining in. So as I am pulling up my iPad too, I just want to start out by letting you know about the exciting 24-hour stamp sale that's coming out. Woo! 2 pages. Well, these are just, I was able to find a form that is just the English stamp sets. So if you have looked at what I've posted on Facebook, and those of you that get my email newsletters, I've sent that out already this morning too. Those might be 5 pages because it includes all the languages and everything. But if you are struggling and couldn't download it, let me know and I can try and rescan these and send these out to you. Just text me or email me and say, hey, I want the simple sheets, or what I call it. So it's just the 2 pages, all English. And if you see my little yellow marks, those are only on mine because those are the stamp sets that I own already that aren't 15 or that are on the 15% off sale. And so it was from those little yellow marks today that I chose to find and kind of narrow down my choice to make today's card. Hi Becky, hi Lisa. Looking over the list too of stamp sets that will be on sale for 24 hours just on Wednesday. And keep in mind too that that's 24 hours, so it's midnight to midnight. Stampin' Up's located out in Salt Lake City, so it's 1 o'clock here in Minnesota when that starts, 1 o'clock a.m. till 1 o'clock a.m. But I always like to say still get your order in by midnight to make sure that you don't miss out on the sale. Wednesday, one day only. Hi Julie. So some things that I've been using lately this month so far in Stamp Camp that a lot of people have commented on are ones that are on the sale for 15% off Wednesday, and one of them is that fun stack stone. That's a newer one. And another one that I might use tomorrow, I'm not sure what I'm doing tomorrow, but there's another fun background, that camouflage, that I wanted to also use. And so I need to narrow down my list because tomorrow is card number 10 for Stamp Camp. So the only way that would change is if somebody just popped up and said, hey, I want a virtual online party. Well, then Wednesday I would give you one more idea while the sale's going on, and then probably Thursday and Friday do the other 2 cards for a virtual party for that total of 3. Hi Rosina. So that's just my little blurb about, kind of a big blurb about the stamp sale Wednesday. So if you have any more questions, let me know about that. So let me get on to today's card number 9. And like I said, I wanted to do something with a little more color and a little more whimsy. So today's card is this one. Hi Sally, you're often working. It's fun to see you join in. So it'll make more sense as I switch it around. You'll actually be able to read the card, but I always like to give you just that little sneak peek of what it is. And so it's the Way to Goat stamp set. And I think I'm all ready. I'm just gonna turn my camera around here so that you can see my workstation. And today, if you like to color, this is a card for you because there is some coloring on it too. And so that should be kind of fun for you as well. Let me get my iPad here so that if you guys have questions, feel free to ask away. I loved on Friday that there was a lot of you that were chiming in with different questions and such, and I really liked that. I didn't feel like I was all so alone here, and I say that in a couple ways because of Corona and I don't get to see you all as often, but also because then I feel like I'm not just talking to myself here in my dining room. Okay, so here is once again the card full on You're the Goat, greatest of all time. And it really didn't take too much to color in the goat. Some of you might be like I used to be before blends became a thing. And I used to think, oh man, if I have to color something in, forget that, kind of move along, or don't do it too often because heaven forbid, it might take more than 5 minutes. Okay, so here it is with the Just Jade kind of background. And if you like to follow along, it's from, the annual catalog, that cover there, page 105. And it's on the top there, and then you can see some of the samples that they've come out with it there. And I'm just now seeing, and I love this part of it, Shop the Project, and it kind of shows additional things that were used possibly between the couple of pages for designs, but I'm just noticing here they have the 6x6 designer series paper, and although I'm not using the brights here, that is what I am pulling in for my card today. So like I said, I went ahead and went through the stamp sale that's going to be starting Wednesday. Well, not starting and ending on Wednesday. And so 15% off this list. And I just kind of marked the stamp sets that I already own that I could show you for today and tomorrow to complete my 10 cards for the virtual stamp camp. Hi, Tori. Hi, Wendy. Thanks for joining in. So that's when I thought, oh, let's pull out the fun goat and go with that. And then I wanted something with colors. So I thought, well, let's pull out that 6x6 pattern paper, and that's kind of fun. So the in colors are great. So I'm going with Just Jade. But of course, anything kind of could be made up cute with that. I kind of also chose Just Jade because You're the Greatest of All Time could be sent to a guy or a gal. Goats like to chew on flowers, so I didn't feel like that was the deciding factor of it having to go to a female either. So, but if you knew it was going to a female, then it's like, ooh, this magenta, the new color in color would be fun. If I run out of green when I'm making my stamp camp cards, I might also then go to Cinnamon Cider or the Moonlight or even the Bumblebee or something like that too. Who knows? So you guys keep surprising me with more orders and getting stamp camp cards for free too. So it's kind of fun for me to play around with adding in things too. So to start my card, I kind of went like, do I want a small little sliver of this paper or do I want a bigger chunk? And then these are the designs. So just within each color, you'll have kind of a wood grain look, which is fun, and kind of just a textured look. In the Moonlight color, it almost looks like a denim. And then when you flip over both of them, whoops, that doesn't look quite right. Okay, one of them is a fun polka dot, stripes within a polka dot. And then another one, has writing on it, if you can see, and it's kind of the Stampin' Up! To love what we do and share what we love, which is what we as demonstrators do. So kind of our mission and theme there. So what I did was I decided I wanted a bigger chunk of paper to have this designer series paper really kind of stand out, especially because I'm using color on color and it's the same. So I just took and cut just a 1/2 inch strip off of the end so that this stays 5.5, which is the same as my card base because my card base is 4 1/4 by 5.5. So getting it to 5.5, then I just cut it in half, which would be 3 inches. So this fun paper in the background is 5.5 by 3 inches. So then in essence, you can get or make 2 cards out of each piece of the 6x6 designer series paper. And then, of course, I'm always here to inspire you, even if you aren't in need of ordering now or want the cards this time and you just have a ton of supplies. I love that you can take any of your images from the stamp sets you currently own, just stamp it in this little rectangle, change up the color patterns. If you have 6x6 already at home and you're like, how do I use that up? Cut 5.5 by 3 and make your own card. And so I love that coming up with simple like layouts like this that you can just create and copy them to make them be your own too. So here's that 5.5 by 3 inch piece here. And then the card base here. So I think I'll start by just adhering that right onto there because that is ready to go. And then it's, if you're like me, sometimes it's one less piece of paper to have on my workspace if I have it stuck to where it needs to be. So I'm just going to kind of eye that and, oops, and this is, like I say, kind of a little bit gooier, so if I don't have it right down, I can kind of slide and maneuver that. And if you don't have it exactly perfect, it's not going to make that much difference because people are going to keep an eye on the goat and the sentiment on there. And I have just a tiny little bit that hangs over the edge. You probably can't even maybe see it, but I know it'll bother me. So I'm just going to take my scissor, and this is an easy way to get rid of that extra when it's on your card, because you can just cut along the edge of the bottom there, and it makes for a nice edge to be able to do that, to get rid of that little piece. Okay, so then next, I think I want to work on the goat. And so before I do any stamping, I'm going to bring over my cut and emboss machine. And today I'm using the rectangle stitched framelits dies. Hi Diane, thanks for joining in. And so this set has tons, and I know I've showed it to you before, has tons and tons of dies, and there's even a couple missing because I've used them on previous projects and they're still sitting out for me to finish up more cards for you guys. So I just chose the one that was the closest to outlining the goat. And so usually I say let's stamp first, but today I'm going to run this frame through first. So I just kind of followed all of the layering as they suggested on here for a die. I'm gonna put that through here like so. And usually for my stitched ones, I kind of just do a little back and forth. Hi Becky, thanks for joining in. Okay, so I've got that, and then I can hopefully show you in the camera sometime. Yes, it's doing a great job of picking up that fun stitched edge around there, so that's great. I think that's what makes it look all the more special. So I'm going to grab my basic black, not basic black, my Memento black ink pad here, and this goat here, and there too it's like, I'll show you the stamp set again. It'd be fun. I know for Diane's party a while back ago, I stamped out this fuzzy looking one, and this one looks like it's dancing, but I thought, well, I'll go with that one today. Like I said, I like the image because it looks like it could be for a guy or a girl. And I'm just going to stamp that out like so. And it's pretty easy to get that centered. It's not a photopolymer stamp set, it's the cling, but it's really easy to get that to be in the center of that rectangle that's stitched there. So I'm just going to set that aside. And then since I have the ink pad open, then I'm going to go ahead and work on the sentiment right away too. The black will be stamped in that. And then I'm just going to stamp You're the Goat, and then underneath it says greatest of all time. So I have just a piece of scratch paper basically that is smoky slate. So smoky slate here, and it's 3/4 inches all the way down, even though we're just going to use this chunk. And I'm not doing anything fancy, no types of fancy cuts or punches or anything. I'm just going to kind of continue with the theme of rectangle to kind of make it look pleasing to the eye. And then to mat that, I just have another strip, and there's Lisa joining in. And Lisa, I think of you now because you're always like, yeah, how to use up those strips. So I have just some strips in my crafting supplies of the basic gray. And so, so this will help use up some of those strips, even though I would have went with this anyway, because I like the 2 grays and that. So instead of trying to measure and do it, I just take these strips, 3/4 and 1 inch, and then I just kind of eye, okay, what's a nice pleasing look of that mat away from the edge. And then same thing there. And then I'm just going to trim that. And that is our sentiment right there. So I'm just going to set that aside. So it doesn't get much easier for stamping and assembling with that. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab some glasses and my chair, and I'm going to do the coloring now for the goat, and hopefully you guys won't get bored when I do that. I always hope that it's something that goes pretty quickly for me. So I'm going to start with the darkest of the smoky slate. So here's my 2 light and dark smoky slate, and I'm always hoping that the camera angle will pick that up. So there's kind of a tuft on the top of the goat, so I'm just going to color all of that in with the dark smoky slate, and then just follow through with doing an outline. And I thought this kind of came together pretty quickly because especially the goat kind of is a little, oh, I don't know, ruffled looking, maybe that's the best way to put it. So you can just kind of go up and down pretty easy. And then I go over any of these areas with just kind of a scribble that has those little detailed markings in there. So that doesn't take too much longer either. And then I just kind of cut off the bottom there with the smoky slate because I want to do the legs a different like tan color. So that's all for the dark smoky slate color. So then I'm just going to follow through with the light smoky slate, and it doesn't get much easier than just coloring over. So that's why I kind of like to do the outline first, because I feel like coloring in after that's so slick. You have the outline drawn, so you don't have to worry about going out of the lines or actually coloring in spaces where you didn't need to because of that too. Okay, so that's done. And then I'm going to go next with some more neutrals. Normally I don't pair crumb cake and the gray together, but kind of goats are dirty junkyard animals. So I thought to pull in a little bit of that dirty look to it would be great. So I'm just going to, at the top here, and also fill in some of these with the darker color here of the crumb cake. Whoops. And I'm also going to just take wherever I went over it with that darker smoky slate, I'm just going to fill in a little bit to give it a two-tone look, not on the eye, but just kind of a little bit there to fill in a little bit more of that color. So that was with the dark crumb cake, and then the light, oops, just kind of hit my camera here. The light, I'm just going to go over that then by filling in the rest of the horns, and then just running that down the leg as well. So just within a few minutes, the goat now will be complete. And even if you go outside of the lines a little bit on the legs, that's okay, because they'll kind of make it look shaded and shadowed. And then for the flower, here's the Mango Melody, and I'm just going to color in those petals. And then there's 3 little dots here that I just kind of go dot, dot, dot to give it a little more color. And then this is the light gold olive, and I just color in the leaf and actually go over the stem that's coming in and out of his mouth just to add more color that way too. So he is completely done and colored in, and I hope that didn't take too much time. So Oh, I was like, did I forget to cut a piece? Okay, so now we're just doing more assembling. Oh, before I put this on, I'm going to open up my Just Jade ink pad. I always love to comment about certain stamps that really make a stamp set more fun. And in this stamp set, it's this little stamp here. So that makes just for a really fun little patch of shading or grass. And so I'm just going to lightly tap this on my Just Jade ink pad and just, it looks like it's scribbled on there, but it just takes that Just Jade color, and now we'll tie that in with our card. So now it's assembly time. So I'm just gonna take my seal here and put that on. Like so, and then the white stitch triangle is going to go on my basic gray, and I just cut it a hair more. So I think this turned out to be like, oh boy, 3.75 by about 3.5 or 3 1/4, something like that. But you'll know if you have these dies, measure it, and it's just that 1/4 inch larger there. And then I wanted to pop this up. So I'm going to just take some dimensionals and put like 1 in each corner, like so, and 1 in the middle. And then I might as well do these right away too. I want to pop up the sentiment right away. So there's 3 across there, like so. Okay. Getting the stickers off of there. Sometimes I wonder if I didn't do the middle one, if it'd be okay, because what I really want is an oomph, and it should stick well on its own without it. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of overlap the pretty paper, but I want as much of it to show as I can always. And so whatever, I just have like a 1/4 inch that I'm going over. So I'm going to do that same with the sentiment. Actually, I'm just going to trim this just a hair. It's just kind of bothering me. It looks like it's just a little off. Okay. So then I'm just going to put that across the top like so. So here it is so far. And you guys know me, I want to always add one embellishment and something fun for the inside. So for my embellishment, these are the butterfly gems. And I've been trying to find a way to get the butterfly gems incorporated into my projects. And every time I think, oh, I want to use those today, it never quite fits what I'm doing. Let's see. So I'm just going to open up this. I like to just slide that underneath there and cut it along. So then next time I go to use it, it just slides right in there, kind of in a little envelope. And then with my take your pick tool, just gonna grab one of the large butterflies and just kind of put it right up there. And there again, I think too, it just looks like a little bit of an added outdoorsy look to it. These gems are great. They don't stick up too bulky. With it being just jade, it doesn't make it look like, okay, it's a butterfly, therefore you have to send it to a female. I would send this to one of my kids or my brothers. Wouldn't be bad at all. And then for the inside, like I say, I always like to have the cards that I send out to you guys. I like to have them be versatile and ones that you can use. So when you are getting your stamp cap cards from me, you will not get this taped down in your card like I often do. I'm going to give you choices. And so on one side, you're going to get happy birthday, you old goat. So if you have somebody that you think, oh, that would be great to send that to, happy birthday, you old goat, that's going to be on one side. And then on the other side, I'm going to use, and both of these are going to be stamped in Just Jade. This is going to say way to goat. So you can pick and choose what you want to use for your inside, and then you tape it down yourself. Hi, Jean. Thanks for watching all the way from California. Yes. Okay, so that is just going to be put in loose on the inside until you're ready to tape, and then you'll decide which one you want to use. All right, I think that is it. And like I said, I did just jade for that, just so it's a nice fun color. And either one of those sayings will go with the "You're the GOAT, greatest of all time." So I always want to make sure that if I'm adding options, that they both make sense with whatever is on the front. Thank you, Lisa. Like I said, I did a lot of fall things, even Halloween. And so, like I said, I wanted something with a little bit more spunk and color. This stamp set will be on sale Wednesday for 15% off, as well as the other list. Let me get that turned around. Okay, so yeah, today's was card number 9 for September's virtual stamp camp. Thanks so much for tuning in and joining along as I design that. Sometimes even my coloring, I hope that doesn't take up too much time, and I always think if it takes too much time, and I have to make several of these to send out, then I maybe need to redo my card right from the get-go too. So if you weren't listening right away, you might want to replay the beginning so that you know about the stamp sale coming up on Wednesday, 24 hours. So I'm not going to go through it all again. Thank you so much, Sally. It's just good to see you today on here. And then if this is your first time joining or watching, so September's virtual stamp camp, how you get to the 10 cards I'm making. Tomorrow will be card number 10, so you can look back and see all 9 out of the 10 so far. Don't know what I'm going to be doing for tomorrow, but I'm going to guess it's going to be something off that list, just to give you some ideas maybe of something to use from there that would be on sale. And you know me, I love a good deal, so I want to pass that along to you guys. So how you get the stamps, the stamp camp cards, is you place a $75 order, and so use the code when you're placing your order that was on my workstation. And next I'm going to post the still shot of the card, and then that will have not only the list of all the supplies used today in today's project, but that will also give you the hostess code too. But as always, you can let me know if you have questions or need help ordering, and I'll get that code included. So $75 minimum order, get through the cards for free. If you don't need anything, just want the cards, then say, "Hey Belle, I want the cards," and they're $22 for the set of 10. So I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon at some point, not sure what time, but I'll kind of try and give you another heads up about a half hour before I go live or so. But I know it'll be a little bit later in the afternoon, just the way my day looks. So have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.